Good morning, students. In the last class we had started with module 3, right? Then in continuation with that, the last class we have seen Laplace equation and Poisson's equation. So we have derived the equation del square V is equal to 0, that is the Laplace equation. In continuation with that, let us see today calculating capacitance using Laplace's equation. How to calculate the capacitance using the Laplace equation. Consider this examples of calculating capacitance using Laplace equation. Solve the Laplace's equation for the potential field in the homogeneous region between the two concentric conducting spheres with radii A and B such that B is greater than A if potential V is equal to 0 at R equal to B and V is equal to V naught at R equal to A. Also find capacitance between the two concentric spheres. So it is asked to solve the Laplace equation for the potential field in the homogeneous region between the two concentric conducting spheres. So there are two concentric spheres, that means they are centered with the same center, they are centered at the same center with radii A and B. Now B is greater than A, the radius B is greater than radius A if potential V is equal to 0 at R equal to B. So you can see in this figure, I have sketched the figure here. So these are the two concentric spheres that you are seeing here. These are the two concentric spheres. This is one with radius A and this is the another with radius B, two concentric spheres, right? He is saying V is equal to 0 at R equal to B. So at R equal to B, that is at R equal to B, V equal to 0, potential equal to 0, and V is equal to V naught at R equal to 8. At R equal to A, V is equal to V naught. Also find capacitance between the two concentric spheres. So you have to find the capacitance between two concentric spheres. First part of the problem is you have to solve the Laplace equation, right? And second part of the problem is you have to find the capacitance between the two concentric spheres. Concentric conductors are shown in the above figure. At R equal to B, V equal to 0, hence outer sphere is shown at 0 potential. Field intensity E bar will be only in radial direction. How the field intensity is distributed? Field intensity for a sphere will be distributed only in the radial direction. Hence V is a function of radius only and V is not the function of theta and phi. Note students here, V is a function of R only because the intensity E or the potential V is distributed in the radial direction. You can see here I have shown in the radius direction. This is how in the radial direction the intensity E or the potential is distributed. According to Laplace equation, del square V is equal to 0. Del square V equal to 0 according to Laplace equation. Now this Laplace equation for spherical coordinate system, because here we have given with the sphere in the problem, so we have to consider spherical coordinate system. 1 upon R square dou by dou R, R square dou V by dou R plus 1 upon R square sin theta dou by dou theta sin theta dou V by dou theta plus 1 upon R square sin square theta dou square V by dou phi square is equal to 0. This is the equation for del square V in spherical coordinate system, right? This we have taken in our previous class. So I have taken the equation for the spherical coordinate system, that equal to 0. So this equal to 0. But here V is a function of R only. The potential V is a function of R only. It is the function of only the radius, but it does not depend upon the angle theta and phi, right? So but V, as it depends only on R, so you have to consider in this only the R portion, that is 1 upon R square dou by dou R, R square dou V by dou R. So that we have to consider here. Remaining will be theta and phi, it is not dependent, so it will be 0. So they are eliminated, theta and phi, these two are eliminated. So in the here we have 1 upon R square dou by dou R, R square dou V by dou R is equal to 0. That is dou by dou R, R square dou V by dou R equal to 0. Because V is a function of R only. Potential V is a function of radius. So dou by dou R, R square dou V by dou R equal to 0. As it is a function of R only, so R cannot be 0. R has a some value, right? So then if R cannot be 0, then what can be 0 here? Dou by dou R of R square dou V by dou R should be equal to 0. Now we will integrate this. Integrate R square dou V by dou R. So if you integrate this, right? So if you integrate this, what we get? Integration of the differentiation is the term itself. So R square dou V by dou R. So here integration of 0 plus we get the constant term C1. right? So that is integration of 0 is 0, so plus C1 is, that is equal to C1. Next, dou v by dou r is equal to, so r square dou v by dou r we got it as C1, right? You can see here r square dou v by dou r is equal to C1. Then dou v by dou r will be equal to C1 by r square, or that is C1 r s to minus 2. Take it as equation 1. Again integrate this equation 1. Again integrate this equation 1. So it will be v is equal to, integrate with respect to r. So v is equal to integration C1 r s to minus 2 dr plus C2. One more constant we'll get. So that is integration of C1 is constant, take it outside, integration of r raised to minus 2. So integration of r raised to minus 2 is x raised to n plus 1 divided by n plus 1, integration of x raised to n. So it will be C1 minus 2 plus 1 minus 1, that divided by minus 2 plus 1 minus 1 plus C2. Therefore v will be equal to minus C1 divided by r. So this r raised to minus 1 will come to the denominator. So minus C1 divided by r plus C2. Take it as equation 2. Now apply the given boundary conditions. So use the boundary conditions. What the boundary conditions here they have given? So they have given v is equal to 0 at r equal to b and v is equal to v0 at r equal to a. So substitute them. Substitute them in this equation 2 and get the values of constant C1 and C2. So 0 is equal to minus C1 by b plus C2. I have substituted v is equal to 0 at r equal to b. Similarly, substitute v is equal to v0 at r equal to a. That you will get v0 is equal to minus C1 by a plus C2. Now subtract one from another. So these two you subtract one from another. So we will get, subtracting the two equations, minus v0. So 0 minus v0 is equal to minus C1 by b plus C2 minus of minus C1 by a plus C2. So minus v0 is equal to minus C1 by b plus C2 plus minus into minus plus C1 by a minus C2. So you will get minus v0 is equal to C1 into 1 by a minus 1 by b. I have taken C1 common. Therefore C1 will be equal to minus v0 divided by 1 upon a minus 1 by b, or that is equal to v0 divided by taking minus 1 inside this denominator. So it will be 1 by b minus 1 by a. Similarly C2, what is C2? C2, see in this equation we have 0 is equal to minus C1 by b plus C2. So C2 will be equal to plus C1 by b. This equation 0 is equal to minus C1 by b plus C2. So C2 will be equal to plus C1 by b. You already calculated C1, so that divided by b. So C2 is equal to C1 divided by b. So that is v0 divided by b into 1 upon b minus 1 by a. So from equation 2 we have v is equal to minus C1 by r plus C2. Minus C1 by r plus C2. Substitute C1 and C2. So v will be equal to minus v0 divided by r into 1 by b minus 1 by a plus v0 divided by b into 1 by b minus 1 by a volts. So this we got the equation for the potential field in the region between the two spheres. So consider the radii b and a and the difference you are getting here. So it is the potential field in the region between the two spheres. Next, what he has asked, now we have solved the Laplace equation in the region between the two spheres. That is the first part of our problem. Now second part of the problem is he has asked to calculate the value of capacitance, right, or the value of capacitance. So now we have the equation E bar is equal to minus del V, that is minus dou V by dou R of AR bar. Again here, so this del V is nothing but dou V, dou by dou X AX bar plus dou by that equation will get. So here it is our theta and phi terms will be 0. So we get only dou V by dou R term. Dou V by dou R AR bar plus dou V by dou theta A theta bar plus dou V by dou phi A phi bar. That is our del, right? But here it is independent of theta and phi. So we get only the R term minus dou V by dou R AR bar. Therefore E will be equal to minus dou by dou R of V equation whatever we have got here, substitute that. So minus V0 of minus V0 divided by R into 1 by B minus 1 by A AR bar. What about this second term? So this second term does not consist of any R, right? So it is just like a constant, so it will be 0. So we are not considering this term, we are eliminating this term. V naught divided by B into 1 by B minus 1 by A. So it is because it is not having any R term, right? So here we have only this term here because C2 is not function of R. Therefore E bar will be equal to minus, that is V naught divided by 1 by B minus 1 by A. You take it outside, it is constant, dou by dou R of 1 by R, dou by dou R of 1 by R. Differentiation of 1 by R is minus 1 by R square, right? Therefore E bar will be equal to minus V naught divided by 1 by B minus 1 by A into R square, AR bar volt per meter. So what is the relation between field intensity and potential? It is field intensity is the potential per unit distance. E is V by M, that is electric field intensity is the potential per unit distance. Next calculate D. D bar is equal to epsilon E bar. D bar is equal to epsilon E bar. Whatever E we have calculated, just substitute here. So it will be minus epsilon V naught divided by 1 by B minus 1 by A R square. That is D bar will be equal to epsilon V naught by 1 upon A minus 1 by B R square coulomb per meter square. D bar it is electric flux density, it is charge per unit area. So it is coulomb per meter square. As per the boundary conditions between conductor and dielectric, this is one of the important point. As per the boundary conditions between conductor and dielectric, D bar is always normal to the surface. So this point we have studied when we are studying the boundary condition between the conductor and the dielectric. So in that topic we have considered the point boundary condition between conductor and dielectric. D bar is always normal to the surface, so we have only Dn bar. Now here there is a sphere, right? So this D bar, that is electric flux density, is always normal to the sphere, so there is no tangential component, right? If it is a boundary between conductor and dielectric, or if it is a sphere, there is always a normal component, there is no tangential component. So we have the surface charge density, D bar is normal to the surface, D bar or Dn bar is normal to the surface. So we have rho s is equal to Dn bar is equal to D bar, that is equal to what we have got, epsilon V naught divided by 1 upon A minus 1 by B R square coulomb per meter square. Therefore charge Q is total charge on the surface of the sphere of radius R. So that is Q is equal to rho s into A. Q is equal to rho s into A. So rho s is charge per unit area into area. So this area and area will cancel, again you will get Q. So what is charge then? Q is equal to, Q is rho s into A. Rho s is there here, that is this is our rho s, multiplied by the surface area of the sphere of radius R. So here it will be epsilon V naught divided by 1 upon A minus 1 by B R square into surface area of sphere of radius R is 4 pi R square. So let's substitute that. So that will be equal to, Q is equal to 4 pi epsilon R square, and R square will cancel here, right? So this R square and this R square will cancel. So what you get, 4 pi epsilon V naught divided by 1 upon A minus 1 by B coulomb. We got Q. So if you want to find the capacitance, what we should have, C is equal to Q by V. So we want Q and we want V. We already got Q here, right? So C is equal to Q by V, where V is a potential between two spheres. So this potential between two spheres is V naught if you consider. So it will be Q by V naught. That is 4 pi epsilon V naught divided by 1 upon A minus 1 by B. That is a Q value. This divided by V naught. So 4 pi epsilon V naught divided by 1 upon A minus 1 by B into 1 upon V naught. V naught and V naught will cancel. So we get the capacitance equation or capacitance value is 4 pi epsilon divided by 1 upon A minus 1 by B farad. This is the capacitance of a spherical capacitor. So now how to calculate the value of capacitance? Which are the different steps? So the different steps are, first solve the Laplace equation for the given potential field. Solve the Laplace equation, that is the first step. So we solve the Laplace equation here. We solve the Laplace equation taking del square V is equal to 0, right? Then we applied the boundary conditions. After solving we got V is equal to minus C1 by R plus C2. Then we applied the boundary conditions. The second step is to apply the boundary conditions and find the values of C1 and C2. Right? First step is to, what is our first step? First step is to integrate, start with the Laplace equation, integrate, get the solution, then apply the boundary condition and find the values of C1 and C2. That is our second step. Then next step is once we got the value of potential, then find the value of E. Right? Find the value of E using the equation E is equal to minus del V. That is our third step. Then after we get the value of E, then once we got the value of E, okay, next find the value of D bar or D. D is equal to epsilon E. Right? That is our fourth step. D is equal to epsilon E. Once we find the value of D, then D is equal to rho S. D is equal to rho S. Right? D is equal to rho S. D is equal to Dn is equal to rho S. So from that we will get the value of Q. Q is equal to rho S into A. Right? Get the value of Q. That is our fifth step. And last step is, once we get the value of Q and V, take the ratio of Q by V. C is equal to Q by V, so that we will get the value of the capacitance. Let's take a second example. Conducting spherical shells with radii A is equal to 10 cm and B equal to 30 cm are maintained at a potential difference of 100 volt, such that V of R equal to B equal to 0 and V at R equal to A is equal to 100 volt. Determine V and E in the region between the shells. If epsilon R is equal to 2.5 in the region, determine the total charge induced on the shells and the capacitance thereon. Again, he has given the spherical shells with radius A equal to 10 cm and B equal to 30 cm, and the potential difference between them is 100 volts. Difference between them is 100 volts. V at R equal to B is 0 and V at R equal to A is 100 volts. He is asking to find V and E in the region between the shells. Second part of the problem is, if epsilon R is equal to 2.5, determine the charge induced on the shells and the capacitance of the shells. So start with the first step. First step is use the Laplace equation. Del square V is equal to 0. Using Laplace equation and integrating, we have to first get the solution. 1 upon r square dou by dou r of r square dou v by dou r equal to 0, because v is the function of r only, so it is not a function of theta and phi. So here we get dou by dou r of r square dou v by dou r equal to 0, because v is a function of r only. Now integrate. So if we integrate, r square dou v by dou r is equal to c1 you will get, because as it is a function of r, so here 1 upon r square cannot be 0. Here 1 upon r square cannot be 0, r square cannot be 0, so we get only r square dou v by dou r equal to 0. If you integrate that, you get r square dou v by dou r equal to c1, or dou v by dou r is equal to c1 r s to minus 2. Take it as equation 1. Again integrate. V is equal to minus c1 by r plus c2. So if you integrate this with respect to r, you get minus c1 by r. X to n integration is x to n plus 1 divided by n plus 1. So that plus c2. Take it as equation 2. Now apply the boundary conditions. Second step. R equal to B equal to, how much they have given? 30 cm. B is 30 cm. 30 cm is 0.3 meters. And at B equal to R equal to B, the voltage is 0. They have given. V equal to 0. And at R equal to A, how much A they have given? 10 cm. A is 10 cm in the given problem. 10 cm is 0.1 meter, because 100 cm equal to 1 meter. Therefore 10 cm equal to 10 by 100, that will be equal to 0.1 meter. V at the point R equal to A is 100 volts. Now substitute these boundary conditions. V is equal to minus C1 by R plus C2, or 0 is equal to minus C1 divided by 0.3 plus C2. So this will be 0 is equal to minus 3.3333 C1 plus C2. Similarly for the next condition, that is at point A, substitute that, we get 100 is equal to minus C1 divided by 0.1 plus C2. That is 100 is equal to minus 10 C1 plus C2, or 0 is equal to minus 3.3333 C1 plus C2. 100 is equal to minus 10 C1 plus C2. So these are the two equations. Solve them simultaneously. How to solve the simultaneous equations? Right? How to solve the simultaneous equations? So these two are the simultaneous equations. Keep your calci in mode. Press the mode button. So when you press the mode, then go to equation. So equation is 1. Press 1. So how many unknowns we are having? 2 unknowns, C1 and C2. C1 and C2 are the 2 unknowns, right, in our 2 equations. So press 2 unknowns. Press 2. Then enter the value of C1. So what is our C1? Minus 3.3333. So minus 3.3333. Okay, is equal to, then C2 is 1. So 1 is equal to Then C1 is 0, constant, it is 0, is equal to A2 minus 10. A2 is minus 10. Okay, minus 10 is equal to, then B2 is 1, C2 coefficient, it is 1, so it is 1 is equal to, C2 is 100, constant term, 100 is equal to, so minus 14.99. Minus 14.99 is almost 15. So C1 is minus 15. What you have written here? C1 is minus 15. So similarly, press one more equal to, you'll get the value of Y. Y is minus 49.999. Okay. So it is nothing but minus 50. So C2 is equal to minus 50. Right. You can see here C1. So we have substituted all the values. So X is equal to minus 14.9 and there is X equal to minus 15. Then Y is equal to minus 50. Y is equal to minus 50. Right. We have got the solve the simultaneous equations using our calculator. So therefore V is equal to minus C1 by R plus C2. This is our equation for V. Substitute the values of C1 and C2. We get V is equal to plus 15 by R minus 50. Therefore E bar is equal to minus del V. This is our third step. Find the value of E. E is equal to minus del V. That is minus dou V by dou R of AR bar minus dou by dou R of 15 by R. This V equation minus 50 into AR bar. So if we differentiate this, we get 15 by R square, is it not? Because the differentiation of 1 by R is minus 1 by R square, so we get 15 by R square AR bar volt per meter. Minus into minus will be plus. This differentiation of the constant will be 0. So D bar, next step, fourth step, calculate D. D is equal to epsilon E bar. That is epsilon naught into epsilon R into this 15 by R square AR bar coulomb per meter square. Next, fifth step, because D bar is always normal for the boundary between conductor and dielectric, or it is normal for the spherical surface, we get only dn component. Normal component, tangential component is 0. So rho is equal to dn bar is equal to d bar. This is the rho s is equal to dn bar is equal to d bar. So rho s will be equal to 15 epsilon naught epsilon r by r square coulomb per meter square. From this we can get the value of charge. Right? How to get the value of charge? Again you have to do the double integration, right? Because it is integration of rho s ds. So rho s is charge per unit area, q by a, ds is area. So a and a will cancel again, so you get q. Right? So you have to double integrate. If you want the area, you have to double integrate. If it is the line integral, it is a single integral. If it is a surface integral, it is double integral. If it is a volume integral, it is a triple integral. So here it is a surface integral, so you have to take the double integration. This ds, whatever is here, that is equal to r square sine theta d theta d phi in AR bar direction. So this equation we will get from the first module where we have studied the spherical coordinate system. When we are studying the three coordinate systems, that is Cartesian, cylindrical and spherical. So in the spherical coordinate system, the differential vector surface area normal to r direction, differential vector surface area normal to r direction, right? That is AR bar is directed radially outward, normal to sphere. This is what I have shown here in the sketch. AR bar is directed normally outwards. It is directed normally outwards, perpendicular to the sphere or normal to the sphere. So here we get this equation from there, r square sine theta d theta d phi. It is the equation for ds. Fine. So substitute that. So q will be equal to, so what are the ranges of the variables for the spherical system? Try to recollect here. So r ranges from 0 to theta, phi ranges from 0 to 2 pi, and theta ranges from 0 to pi. Pi is the half angle here, theta is the half angle. Okay, so these are the range of variables for the spherical coordinate system which we have studied in our module 1 for the spherical coordinate systems. So now substitute the values of phi. Phi is 0 to 2 pi, theta is 0 to pi. Okay, so 15 epsilon naught epsilon r by r square into r square sine theta d theta d phi. R square and r square will cancel. R square and r square will cancel here. Then we get the equation for q as q is equal to integration phi is equal to 0 to 2 pi, theta is equal to 0 to pi, 15 epsilon naught epsilon r sine theta d phi. Or q is equal to integration phi is equal to 0 to 2 pi, 15 epsilon naught epsilon r. Now integration of sine theta, differentiation of cos theta is minus sine theta. So integration of sine theta is minus cos theta. So minus cos theta over the limit 0 to pi d phi. So it is integral phi is equal to 0 to 2 pi 15 epsilon naught epsilon r minus cos phi minus of minus cos 0, substitute the limits. So you get q is equal to integration phi is equal to 0 to 2 pi 15 epsilon naught epsilon r minus of minus 1 cos phi is minus 1, so minus of minus 1, cos 0 is 1, so minus 1 to minus is plus 1. So this will be q is equal to integration phi is equal to 0 to 2 pi 15 epsilon naught epsilon r 2 d phi. Then integration of d phi with respect to phi is phi, so it will be q is equal to 15 epsilon naught epsilon r into 2 phi for the limit 0 to 2 pi. That is q is equal to 15 epsilon naught epsilon r into 2 pi minus 0, or q is equal to 15 epsilon naught epsilon r into 4 pi, that is 60 pi epsilon naught epsilon r coulomb. This is the last step. C is equal to q by v. So substitute the values of q and v. So q is 60 pi epsilon naught epsilon r, that divided by 100, because potential they have given, v is 100 volts. Substitute that. So once you substitute that, the value of capacitance what you are getting is 41.72 picofarad. So this is how we have to solve the examples, right, with the Laplace equation. So how to calculate the capacitance using the Laplace equation. Hope you have understood, students. If there are any queries, please send your queries to me so that I will be able to answer to your queries. Thank you.